Welcome back to OmniGarage. So we are here at SEMA 2025 in the Gtechniq booth, and I've got Carson here from Gtechniq.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
He's going to talk us through some product-specific stuff, all the technical information we need to know about our ceramic coatings.
Yes, sir.
So I believe you've got a new release.
We do, GT1.
Tell us all about it.
So GT1 is going to be a little bit of a different kind of ball game as far as Gtechniq is typically known for. We're known for our professional products. This is still professional, but the goal with it is to make it more attainable to people that are newer into ceramic coatings. I think there's a lot of barriers to entry typically with these products. A lot of it comes down to high spotting, other things regarding application issues, temperatures, humidities. As you know, the professional level coatings can kind of give you some trouble there.
Yeah.
So the nice thing with GT1, it's a 1-year coating, universal for really everything on your vehicle, even glass.
Oh wow.
Piano black,
wheels,
texture black plastics, wheels. You do it. You can do it all. So 1 bottle size, 1 kit. You order the product. You have the applicator that you need. You have the bottle that you need. You got the prep. You're all good to go. The nice thing with it is you've got a long time to remove high spots, right? Okay. So humidity, we're not worried about it. Temperatures, as long as you're above 40 degrees Fahrenheit, not an issue. And so
what would be the instant time that I could wipe it off? Is it like instant bond technology?
It's typically going to bond within about 30 to 60 seconds. So we say 30 to 60 second window. Now let's say you messed up, right?
Yeah.
You did a fender, you did a whole door, you're almost on the back door, that fender's been at 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Not ideal, but you're not going to have to use any kind of polishes or abrasives to remove it. It might take a little bit more work. It might be a little bit harder to remove.
And are we getting the usual cues of the rainbowing effect, the water slit sort of thing?
It's still going to do the sweat effect. So out of our composite-based coatings, EXO, Crystal Serum Light, Ultra, all of our composite coatings, what they do is they absorb into that top layer of clear coat. Anything that kind of is too saturated for that clear coat rejects.
Okay.
And when it rejects, you get that kind of sweat or the bead effect.
Yeah.
All of that would be otherwise kind of creating a high spot.
Okay.
That's what the GT1's going to do. So again, 30 to 60 seconds for that. If you wait too long, no big deal.
Yeah.
The really cool thing with it is you have that indicator, but for those of you that aren't really kind of keen to that, if you've never worked with the coating, you're like, what does that sweat look like? Yeah. Count to around 30 seconds, maybe up to a minute, and wipe it off. You're good to go. Okay. If you wait too long, no sweat.
So you got some
just wipe it off.
Work time.
Super easy. We've even noticed we've had some kind of slight high spots.
Yeah.
We came back the next day and we're still able to wipe it off. Now, it's not going to be as good as our separate coatings, right? Absolutely. So our flagship is CSL, which is our 5-year base layer, and EXO, which is our 2-year kind of hydrophobic top coat. Good standalone, even better on top of CSL for additional surface characteristics, hydrophobic, slickness, gloss. CSL is going to be that base of the actual UV rejection, oxidation resistance, everything like that. CSL EXO is still, it's a killer combo, right? This is not not replacing that. But what it's doing is it's kind of giving you the best of both worlds as much as we can do in a user-friendly coating. It's
user experience is quite nice.
Yeah.
Let's say I completely stuff it up. Can I remove it quite easily?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
So like a quick little polish.
We've even noticed if you have a really, really bad high spot, let's say we let it sit a couple days.
Yeah.
We've even noticed our water spot remover W9, spray some onto a towel, kind of wipe it on that area, let it sit for around 15, 20 seconds.
Emulsifies it.
Yeah. Wipe it off and you're good.
Okay.
Recoat, done deal.
Right.
So that's a really cool thing with it, because prior to this, if we left a high spot for days, we're polishing.
Yeah, exactly. CSU, you got to struggle to get that off.
Right? For people that have been in the industry and that have done it for a long time, it's natural. I'm going to grab my polisher, throw something on a pad, whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to do that. Right? They don't want to take that step, and they feel like if they don't take that step, they're going to get an inferior product. And I think before GT1 was released, I think that's a true thing.
Gotcha.
So GT1 is filling in that gap between people that kind of, they're not quite sure.
Want to give it a go, but not quite sure. Just putting their feet in. Now, is it spray delivered, or is it still typical dropper?
It's going to come in the same kind of bottle format as our EXO. So it's going to have that typical kind of, we call it the bartender's dropper. Pour it on that applicator pad, saturate it, go from there.
It's a type thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
And so it's still a professional coating, but it's dumbed down in the sense of the application. But that's not to say that professionals can't use it. Let's say that we have a customer that came in with a coated vehicle a good amount of time ago, and they weren't maintaining it super well. We had to do a really light polish on it. Maybe they don't want to pay for, you know, a 2-year coating, a 5-year coating, a 9-year coating again. But you want something to boost the repellency, boost the slickness, boost the gloss. Let's say we're 3 years into CSL and they just really kind of messed it up. We don't have time to go with EXO. Let's go ahead and just go with GT1. It's going to be absolutely easy for me to sling on in my professional setup. 30 minutes and I'm done with the dang car. And I reset it for the customer, so they're super happy with it.
Can I do the same if I've got the 1 year on there and I could just, you know, we're getting into, I don't know, 9 months or something, and I just want to top it up and refresh it, I can lay another layer down?
You can. Oh, perfect. So it's going to work on top of itself. It's still going to react the same. You're not going to have any issues with the bonding of the coating.
Right.
So you've got the green light there.
Perfect. That sounds like a really interesting sort of, you know, in that 1 year area. Now let's step it up again. So I've got some technical questions about Crystal Serum Light in particular. So we offer a sort of a wash, a clay, and a ceramic coating. So no polishing in there. I understand that to get the maximum longevity out of the 5-year coating, you would recommend that we did a full decontamination wash and that we did a polish. For the customers who are just wanting ceramic coating on there, what is our longevity on the Crystal Serum Light, and you know, without the polish? Like, are we getting sort of half the amount of durability on there?
Here's the cool thing with these coatings. Because they're composite based, they don't just sit on top of the clear coat. They contain solvents that we call it blooming. So that the solvents in something like Crystal Serum Light are going to temporarily soften that clear coat, expand the pores, and allow Crystal Serum Light to absorb into that layer of clear coat. That solvent then evaporates, excess is rejected like that sweat. The benefit behind the composite nature of a coating is, as long as the panel is free of contamination and that you've done proper panel prep, albeit panel wipe. Typically, we don't recommend just doing isopropyl alcohol. You want something with ethyl alcohol in it, something that's kind of a stronger panel prep. So panel wipe would be perfect. As long as you're doing that, we haven't seen a whole lot of longevity difference overall. Realistically, Really what the polishing is doing is it's taking out a lot of the defects. But because our coating isn't just quartz based, it's not just sitting on top and reacting with oxygen, because it's absorbing into the clear, that reaction is happening regardless of you doing the paint correction. Now, that said, paint correction is kind of a fail-safe thing. The reason why I bring that up is we're not perfect, right? Even if we're professionals in this industry, we miss a spot when we're claying, we don't do a full decon on some areas. Going over it one more time with another step, that can kind of be thought of as exfoliating. So it's giving you that extra kind of exfoliation as far as making sure, kind of hitting all your bases one more time. So you probably will get a little bit more longevity, maybe another 5, 6, 7 months.
But not a lot.
But realistically, the coating, it's dang good, even if you skip that polishing procedure.
That's really good to know, because I thought, you know, we've had to tell our ceramic clients that are just getting that, hey, don't expect the maximum longevity out of this, because we're not paint correcting, we're not going down that pathway. But you're telling me that we're going to get some pretty decent longevity out of that coating, just based on the technology and the way that product's delivered and the chemistry makeup.
Now, if you want to offer that, if you're accredited, if you want to offer that 5-year guarantee, it's a good idea to do a single paint correction, especially because clay is naturally abrasive, right? I mean, we're physically removing contamination from the paintwork, not via chemicals, via physically kind of friction on the paint. With that, we're probably going to instill some micro-marring, some very, very minor surface swirls and damage in the paintwork. So a single step is at least something we should do if we're not carrying out a full paint correction for the 5-year guarantee to be offered. But realistically, it's still going to kick complete. I mean, it's going to be really, really good, even without that polishing procedure.
And then we're now talking about Crystal Serum Light with EXO. So we do offer that as EXO. We do offer that as like an additional add-on. That's time in the shop that we have to take, because not only are we applying one coating now, we're applying 2. What are the real differences between us just having Crystal Serum Light, because that's all we really want to offer because of the time? Are we getting much more of a benefit by putting EXO on there, or was it kind of negated by
And so this is where I bring in what I always say whenever I'm doing trainings. I call it law of diminishing return, and I say it specifically with EXO. As you go with a higher performance single layer base coating, your added on benefit of topping something like EXO on top of that base layer becomes slightly diminished. And what I mean by that is, let's say we have something like Ultra. It's very high solids, it's very high performance all on its own. It's a 9-year coating, great mix of actual longevity and performance as far as hydrophobics, gloss, slickness goes. You can top it with EXO and you're gonna get a solid boost, right?
Okay.
I don't wanna put an exact percentage, but let's say for instruction purposes here, let's say it's maybe a 5-6% boost in performance overall. Then we take a lighter coating like Crystal Serum Light. It leaves a little bit more on the table. It's easier to install, but at a sacrifice of about 4 years of durability when you drop it from Crystal Serum Ultra. We top that with EXO. We're getting a much higher kind of added on benefit from doing that.
There's a net gain there.
CSL is leaving more on the table.
Yeah.
Now, CSL is primarily for 5 years of UV rejection, minor wash swirl abrasion resistance, overall just making sure that paintwork is prevented from being oxidized. I call it the brute coating, right?
Yeah.
That's the one you really want protection with. EXO, on the other hand, we don't have as much quartz in it. We have more siloxanes. Now, siloxanes are going to be giving you all your performance in the product.
It's going to give it that cool glossy look,
all of
the
that.
hydrophobics, all that sort of stuff.
Now, CSL still has a great amount of siloxanes as a composite coating, but it's not quite as focused on that as EXO.
Right.
EXO has way less quartz, way more siloxanes than something like CSL, and the benefit of that is you get more performance, but that quartz is dropped down. Quartz is what's giving us our longevity. And so EXO is our 2-year coating. We drop that quartz down, drop down our longevity, bump up the performance. The water contact angle on EXO is 115 degrees.
Okay.
CSL is slightly less than that, right? So it's still a great coating. CSL is awesome on its own. If the customer wants lasting hydrophobics as much as possible throughout that 5-year duration, topping with EXO is beneficial.
Yeah, right.
But if they're just going for protection and want a really, really solid amount of water repellency, gloss, and slickness all alone, CSL's great,
still
right?
good enough, yeah.
So you kind of see where I'm getting at here.
Yeah, it depends on what the
we're getting a
client's
few
sort of
percentage points boost off, Ultra with EXO. Maybe probably twofold that with something like CSL EXO.
Yeah.
And then for those of you OGs out there that really follow the line, our C1 Crystal Lacquer, first coating we ever made, that's just quartz based, not quite as focused on slickness, gloss, or anything. You can also top that with EXO. Huge jump in performance, right? Because we're adding in something that's completely absent from that coating. So that's really.
So as we're stepping up the line with EXO, we sort of got diminishing returns.
Yes.
And that's just based on the chemical makeup of each product.
Right.
Okay, perfect. I really do makes sense, Glenn?
Makes sense.
Now, what about if I know you've got like in a marine line and an RV line, etc., but can we put CSL on motorhomes?
Yeah, you certainly can. And actually, nowadays, a lot of motorhomes are now base coat, clear coat.
Okay.
So you certainly can.
Yeah.
There's a few reasons why we like the marine line for it.
Yeah.
Marine line are quartz-based coatings. They're not composite. The benefit behind quartz is it reacts with oxygen in order to harden and set up, rather than looking for plasticizers and clear coat, so on and so forth, like our automotive kind of flagship coatings do. The benefit behind quartz reacting just with oxygen is it's going to work on a variety of paint finishes. Motorhomes have a huge kind of variety of what we're kind of coating, right?
Yeah.
If we have a guy that works on just motorhomes or just RVs, they could be working on gel coat one day, clear coat another day, some other type of paint system the next day. And so it gives them the ability to just say, I'm going to take this one product and I'm going to do it on this entire line and on this entire fleet. So it gives simplicity to something that would otherwise be complex. And from what we've noticed, the biggest thing with motorhomes or RVs is the durability aspect of it.
Right, okay, this is my next
not quite as focused on the sexy look of the coating. It's going to give you that.
I just want UV protection.
You want the protection. And so the marine line is doing that. Right? So we're kind of delivering what the customer wants and also allowing you a little bit more ease of install and simplicity in the line. And so I think that's why marine is kind of the go-to for that type of...
But it's more of a specific channel.
Yes.
Because we do cars and RVs, are we fine just using Crystal Serum Light?
Yeah.
And we're going to get 5-year performance out of that if we do it correctly.
Yeah, if it's a high gloss paint system, you really will. And again, I say this time and time again, we get a lot of customer inquiries of what's the best way to maintain this coating. I just had this professionally done. Using some type of booster spray on occasion. C2 ceramic sealant is awesome. Marine ceramic fast coat is great. We have easier options like Easy Coat and rinse on ceramic. They give you about half the protection, but twice as easy of an application.
Okay, that's sort of hose delivered, is it?
Yes.
For the bigger, the bigger things. Yeah.
So doing that kind of maintenance is the best way to extend the life of your coatings. You're continually adding sacrificial layers. Right?
Yeah.
So it gets to a point where maybe it's overkill, but it costs you pennies to do it.
Exactly.
And it's so easy to do.
And the customer's already spent heaps of money getting this coating on there.
Right.
So if you put something on there that just gives you, a little bit easier to clean, good maintenance, it's going to extend the life of your
Yes,
coating.
sir.
Perfect. Well, I think Carlson here has answered all my questions. Got anything else to add there, Glenn? No? Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Again, we really do love using the Gtechniq line, and we've used these coatings for many years now.
Well, we
That's our
appreciate you guys
preferred
stopping by.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Happy detailing.